Can you feel it? That like suffocating heat,
Yeah?
the sirens in the distance cutting through the noise, that feeling of a city just pushed right to the edge.
Right.
We're not in some deep steaming jungle today. Nope. Forget the green canopy.
Right.
Our deep dive takes us straight into the concrete jungle. Chaos is just, Tuesday. And this ancient threat, it's about to show up big time.
It's such a shift, isn't it? The whole atmosphere just hits differently.
Totally.
The tension, the kind of desperation in the air. It's the perfect backdrop for a whole new kind of hunt. Urban warfare meets alien predator.
Exactly. And that's where we are diving in today. Predator 2. Now, I know some people might just see it as, another action sequel.
Mm-hmm.
But get ready. This film, it's way more than that. It's foundational. It rips the hunt out of the jungle, slams it into this brutal city, and lays down groundwork that, honestly, it kind of reshaped sci-fi cinema, connected things we didn't even realize were connected.
The first film, it gave us the hunter.
Yeah.
Showed us how deadly it was. But Predator 2, it starts whispering secrets about the whole predator civilization. It subtly changes the game, not just the hunt itself, but like where they fit in the cosmos. Hints at this bigger lore.
And it peels back the layers on that code, doesn't it? That weird sense of honor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Much more than the original hinted at.
So that's our mission for this deep dive. We're cutting through the explosions, going deeper than just the action beats. We want to get to the core secrets hidden in this movie. We'll look at how Predator 2, often kind of living in the shadow of the first one, didn't just add to the lore, it rewrote the rules, showed us more about the creature's code, gave us this new kind of hero for this new battlefield.
Right.
And famously dropped that one Easter egg, the one that basically detonated a whole other franchise.
It really is a masterclass in sequel making in a way. Takes the core idea, throws it into this completely different setting, and somehow expands the universe massively at the same time. You'll see why this film, even with its like gritty, kind of messy feel, is just so crucial for the whole Predator universe.
Exactly. So what we're going for today isn't just a recap, it's a fresh look. Why does this film matter so much to the bigger picture? Get ready for maybe some aha moments, maybe some surprising facts that make you want to watch it again with like a totally new perspective.
Appreciating the subtle genius behind the grit.
Precisely. So let's unpack this. Okay, to really get Predator 2, we got to start where the film starts. That bold, almost jarring change of scenery. This is our first big section, the urban jungle awakens.
Absolutely. The setting, you could argue, is the biggest change right off the bat. We're thrown into Los Angeles, but not the L.A. you might picture.
Yeah.
This is L.A. 1997, a near-future vision that's just miles away from the jungles of the first film. It's a city right on the edge. Our sources call it crime-ridden and heat-wave-stricken.
Yeah, you can almost feel that heat, right? That sticky, oppressive air just radiating off the screen. And the city, it isn't just like wallpaper. It's an active player. It's practically an antagonist itself. The sources, they basically paint this picture of a city in chaos. It's overrun by heavily armed drug cartels, street gangs, and police shootouts. It's not just a city. It's a new urban jungle. Humanity's already tearing itself apart. They have no idea what's coming.
And that just completely flips the tone, the stakes from the first movie's military thing.
Totally.
In Predator, the danger was isolated. Specific mission, remote spot. Here, the threat's loose in a packed city that's already boiling over. All that chaos, the constant gunfire, the everyday violence. It's not just tough for the cops. It's perfect camouflage.
Right.
It's like a ready-made playground for something that thrives on conflict.
Yeah.
Doesn't even need to change its hunting style that much. It just uses the city's chaos. It hides in plain sight, hidden by the violence we're already doing to each other.
That makes it so much creepier, doesn't it? It's not just invading. It's like exploiting our own mess. The sources really emphasize the sheer volume of these heavily armed drug cartels and street gangs. It's not just a few bad guys. It's a whole ecosystem of violence, perfect for a new predator.
Yeah.
Think about the anonymity. In a city where explosions and shootouts are normal, an alien hunter with plasma guns and cloaking, it could operate for ages before anyone even suspected something. Not human.
You feel that vulnerability, don't you? The danger isn't far away. It could be preying, like right down the street, hidden in the everyday terror.
And it creates this weird dynamic. In the jungle, the predator had to track, pick targets carefully, use the environment.
Right, stealth was key.
Here, it can just watch. The constant police shootouts, the gang wars, they provide this endless stream of worthy targets. People already armed, already fighting. It makes the hunt easier in one way, but maybe more complex in another.
It's definitely a different kind of challenge. An endless buffet of targets.
And into this boiling pot steps a new kind of hero, someone who gets the streets maybe better than anyone.
Yeah, Lieutenant Mike Harrigan. And he's such a contrast to Dutch from the first film, right? Dutch was special forces, jungle warfare.
Totally different skill set.
Harrigan. Our sources describe him as a tough, no-nonsense LAPD cop known for bending the rules and getting results.
And that difference is so important. He's not a soldier. He's a detective. His whole world is the human underworld, the twisted logic of street crime. Bending the rules isn't just like a character trait. It's how you survive and get things done in that city.
He runs on instinct, gut feelings, right? Navigating those gray areas.
Exactly.
But it sets up this fascinating problem. His determination to get results that works against human criminals. But how does that gritty approach prepare him for something supernatural, something with an alien code?
He's trying to solve a crime using human logic, but the killer isn't human.
Right, and he's a civilian authority figure, not military. There's no army backup, no protocol for alien hunter loose in downtown L.A. It's raw. It gets personal fast.
Which makes him super relatable, doesn't it? Not a super soldier, just a cop trying to do his job in this insane situation. The description nails it. Tough, no nonsense, bending the rules, getting results. He's the kind of guy who cuts through the red tape. You know that's going to be important later when he runs into other forces.
He's kind of like the city itself, scarred, tough, unpredictable.
And it's Harrigan and his team who stumble onto the first big clue, a crime scene that just screams not human. And for us, watching, it feels chillingly familiar.
This is where it really hooks you, especially if you've seen the first film. Our sources detail this scene. Harrigan's team, that's Lana Cantrell, Danny Archuleta, Jerry Lambert, they bust up this intense gang war. And what do they find? Colombian drug lords slaughtered in a locked penthouse, their bodies skinned and hung upside down.
Ooh, and the kicker?
The sources explicitly say it's eerily similar to the methods of the Predator from the first film. That's the moment. Instant recognition, instant dread is the signature.
Totally. And that locked penthouse detail, it's not just gory. It adds that layer of impossibility. How does a person do that? Get in, commit that kind of ritualistic violence, and vanish. It forces them and us to think outside the human box.
Right.
And the skinned and hung upside down thing, that's the chilling trademark. It's not just killing. It's display. It's ritual.
What does it mean to the Predator? It feels like part of their hunting culture.
Right. A grotesque trophy display. A warning.
It immediately signals this isn't just another gang hit. This is something ancient, powerful, playing by totally alien rules. It's basically saying, I'm here. This is my hunting ground now.
You see that grotesque scene, feel that eerie similarity, and boom, the threat level just skyrockets from street crime to something cosmic. And his team, Leona, Danny, Jerry, they're right there seeing it too. That's gonna mess you up.
For sure. And just as Harrigan's team is trying to wrap their heads around these impossible killings, this shadowy government presence shows up. Seems like they might know more than they're letting on.
Yes. Enter the men in black. Almost. This definitely complicates things. Harrigan finds his investigation just stonewalled by a mysterious government task force, and it's led by this cold and secretive special agent Peter Keyes. Gary Busey, just chewing scenery. He's immediately set up as a foil for Harrigan, isn't he?
Oh, absolutely. Harrigan's focused on the street, on stopping the immediate killing. Keyes, he represents a totally different angle, not stopping it, but exploiting it. Capturing
the scientific conquest.
Exactly. His cold and secretive vibe isn't just personality. It highlights the shaky morals of his mission. He's not really there to protect L.A. He wants the prize. This adds that layer of human conflict right on top of the alien one. Man versus man for the alien.
And the background info tells us Key's real goal. His team has been tracking the creature for years and hope to capture it for study. Years. That's huge, right?
Massive implication. It means this isn't the first time. It suggests the predators have been coming here maybe for a long time, and certain human groups know about it.
Or have been trying to cover it up. Or figure it out. It makes you wonder how many other weird events in history were maybe predator hunts? Or how many secret government projects are chasing UFOs or hunters?
Right. And Keyes wanting to capture it for study? That's classic human ambition, isn't it?
Yeah.
Trying to control the uncontrollable, weaponize the unknown. But the danger in that, trying to bottle up something like the Predator?
Recipe for disaster. It raises all sorts of questions about secret government stuff, the military-industrial complex, operating outside any kind of oversight, just chasing power and knowledge no matter the cost.
It's pure hubris. Thinking you can cage something that ancient, that deadly, that description really captures him. Cold and secretive, goal,
Yeah.
tracking for years, intent, capture it for study. Very clinical, very dangerous. Sets up a big clash later.
Definitely. And despite Keyes, or maybe because he's interfering, the Predator just keeps hunting, escalating, getting closer and closer to Harrigan's team, making it personal.
And it gets agonizingly personal for Harrigan. The sources say as the team digs, more brutal killings occur. This time, Jamaican voodoo gangs and more cartel members. Same horrific signature. But then, Danny Archuleta, he finds something.
Danny, yeah, this is tough.
He finds a strange metallic spear tip at one scene. This is massive, tangible proof, alien tech. It pushes it beyond weird crime into something else entirely.
First hard evidence.
Yeah. But then, tragically, Danny is then killed by the Predator in a museum-like subway chamber. And his death, it's not just another body count. It hits Harrigan hard. It shifts everything for him. His duty becomes this obsession, this vendetta. He's devastated and obsessed with finding the killer.
Totally changes his motivation, doesn't it? From cop duty to pure revenge. And the fact Danny took the spear tip, like he was trying to figure it out.
Right. Curiosity killed the detective.
And that setting, the museum-like subway chamber, is so weird. Like the Predator is picking spots with meaning, curating the kills.
It feels that way. Yeah. And the spear tip it dropped by accident
Right.
or left deliberately. A test? Who knows? But Danny's death makes it intensely personal. It's not stats anymore, it's his friend. It focuses Harrigan, narrows his world down to just him and this thing. That obsession, that need for payback, drives the rest of the movie.
You feel that shift from suspicious cop to devastated and obsessed makes him way more compelling. And that strange metallic spear tip, such a great tangible symbol of what they're facing.
And with the stakes now incredibly personal, we start to see the Predator's methods even more clearly. Its selectivity, its abilities, its code.
Right. And speaking of methods, this is where we get a much clearer picture of the Predator's code, its prey selection. Our sources give us this image, the Predator, camouflaged and watching the city from rooftops, just stalking its prey, but not randomly.
No, it's specifically singling out those it deems worthy of the hunt. And who fits that bill? Heavily armed criminals, police officers, and gang members.
So it's clarifying that code of honor from the first film. It's not mindless killing. It's a sport hunter, a sophisticated one. It wants a challenge. Those dangerous, armed people, they're the game.
Exactly. And being on the rooftops, that gives it the perfect vantage point over the chaos. The city becomes its ultimate hunting ground, its complex chessboard.
So it's not just about who has the biggest gun, but who presents the best challenge. It's weird, isn't it? This super advanced alien sticking to this, like, primitive warrior code, almost more ethical than some of the humans in the movie.
It's one of the most fascinating things about it. This worthiness thing shapes who it targets. It ignores the weak, the unarmed. It wants a real fight. That code elevates it beyond just a monster movie creature. It's complex. It has rules. And knowing those rules becomes really important later. It hints at a whole culture behind the hunt.
Yeah, that's a key distinction. It's not just killing. It's hunting by a specific ancient set of rules. You can picture it up there. From rooftops, watching, picking targets from the heavily armed criminals, police officers, and gang members. That careful singling out makes it scarier because it's intelligent, patient, not just a beast.
And that selective hunting gets put to the test in a very public, very confined space. Leads to an absolutely iconic scene and a really surprising twist in that Predator code.
Yes, the subway scene. Probably one of the most memorable, most shocking parts of the film. Our info is clear. One iconic scene aboard a subway train. The Predator just slaughters armed passengers. It's brutal, shows its deadliness in close quarters. Terrifying.
It is. Utterly terrifying. Shows how outmatched humans are, even armed. The confined space just cranks up the horror. But amidst the carnage, something amazing happens. Jerry Lambert, Harrigan's teammate.
Yeah, poor Jerry.
He dies trying to protect Leona. A brave sacrifice. Shows the team's loyalty. But then, the twist. Leona herself is spared when the Predator sees via thermal vision that she is pregnant. This is presented as a nod to the creature's code of honor.
That moment just flips everything, doesn't it? It confirms the code, solidifies it. The Predator doesn't hunt the unarmed, the innocent, the infirm. or apparently those carrying life. It has a moral compass, twisted maybe, but it follows it, and the thermal vision makes it logical, right? It literally sees the pregnancy. It's not just guessing.
The implications are huge. What does it say about this monster? That it follows a stricter code than some humans in the city. This one act of mercy, it deepens the creature entirely, makes it more than just an antagonist, adds this layer of moral complexity. They're not just chaotic killers. They're part of a structured, disciplined, maybe even civilized, in their own way, society, with rules for the hunt.
It really makes you question who the real monsters are sometimes, right? That iconic scene on the subway train, the slaughter, Jerry's sacrifice protecting Leona, and that key detail, her being pregnant, seen via thermal vision, revealing the code of honor. It's just a brilliant sequence, tells us so much, elevates the whole film.
And while Harrigan's now driven by this deeply personal quest for justice and revenge, that other force, Keyes, is prepping his own elaborate trap.
Yeah.
He's convinced he can capture the thing Harrigan just wants to destroy.
Right, so Harrigan's all vengeance and grief, but Keyes, he's still playing his own game. Ambition, science. Our sources say Harrigan is eventually lured to an industrial meatpacking plant. And guess who's waiting?
Keyes and his team. They've set a trap for the predator using cryogenic weapons, and their goal hasn't changed. Capture it for study.
It shows how meticulous Keyes is, or how confident, maybe overconfident. The meatpacking plant is practical, right? Cold, big space for cryo weapons, but also symbolic.
Yeah, a slaughterhouse. Now a trap for the hunter.
Poetic. And the cryogenic weapons themselves show his approach. Not kill, subdue, capture, exploit the tech. It's that human belief again. Our science can conquer anything, even this.
But there's such hubris there, isn't there? He's tracked it for years. He knows how deadly it is. Yet he thinks human tech and planning can outsmart it. Outsmart something with maybe millennia of hunting experience. It feels like he's fundamentally underestimating his opponent.
Classic man plays God setup. He sees the predator as a specimen, a thing to be studied, controlled, not as an intelligent ancient hunter. He assumes he can outthink it. And that kind of hubris usually doesn't end well in these stories.
No, it rarely does. He's focused on the how of capture, not the what of the creature itself, its unpredictable nature.
And the details really sell that cold, clinical approach. The industrial meatpacking plant, the cryogenic weapons, all tied back to that desire to capture it for study. Very calculated, very risky.
And Keyes springs his trap.
Yeah.
But the hunter, as we've seen, is way smarter, way more adaptable than he figured, leads to a fast, brutal reversal.
And here's where Keyes' plan just completely falls apart. All that prep, the tech, the years of tracking. The sources state it simply. The predator outsmarts them, killing nearly all of Keyes' men in a violent ambush.
It's not just about the predator being stronger, it's smarter, more adaptable, even against superior numbers and tech. It wasn't just a fight, it was a violent ambush. The predator turned the tables, analyzed their strategy, countered it. Keyes' scientific arrogance led straight to his team getting wiped out.
Grim lesson, huh? What does that say about us trying to control stuff we don't understand? They tracked it for years, knew its capabilities, still couldn't stop it. Maybe tech isn't everything against primal instinct and eons of evolution.
It really highlights that gap, doesn't it, between our understanding and its reality. The predator outsmarting them after all that prep. It's a stark warning. You can't just trap a force of nature like that. Challenges that whole human-centric view that technology trumps everything. Some things just won't be contained. Trying usually ends badly.
Yeah, even with all their gear and intel, they just couldn't match something evolved purely to hunt.
A very humbling, very deadly moment for Keyes' crew. You feel the shock when the predator outsmarts them, executes that violent ambush, kills nearly all of them. Perfect setup for Harrigan, the street guy, the underdog, to step in.
And Harrigan arrives right in the middle of this mess, the last man standing, finally, face to face with the thing he's been hunting, the moment of truth.
And what a moment. Sources say Harrigan arrives just in time to find the carnage, sees what happened, and then, driven by pure vengeance, he confronts the predator directly in a brutal close-quarters battle. This is it, his personal fight.
Absolutely. No more plans, no science, just raw survival. That brutal close-quarters battle really shows Harrigan's street grit against the predator's tech and strength. And what's amazing, he actually manages to wound the creature, forces it to flee into the city's labyrinth of buildings. He hurt it. He made it run. That proves he's a worthy opponent, unlike Keyes' team. He turned the tables.
So Harrigan's raw, visceral way worked, where Keyes' calculated tech approach failed. Why do you think that is? Is it just sheer desperation? Or something more?
I think it highlights the difference between trying to, dissect something from afar versus fighting it on its own terms. Keyes saw a specimen, Harrigan. He had that personal stake, that primal drive to kill the thing that took his friend. His tactics are messy, improvised, desperate, not rigid protocol. And the Predator running, that shows Harrigan pushed it. Maybe the Predator respects that raw fight more. It's the power of human will pushed to the absolute limit.
Great contrast. Intellectual detachment versus pure, raw will to survive and win. You picture Harrigan finding the carnage, jumping into that brutal close-quarters battle, actually wounding the creature, making it flee. It's a real punch-the-air moment for the underdog.
Yeah.
And that chase now leads them somewhere incredible, deep inside the city's hidden core, to a revelation that changes the whole game for the Predator universe.
Okay, this is where Predator 2 just goes beyond. The chase, after that intense, harrowing rooftop battle, leads Harrigan somewhere impossible, into the Predator's hidden spacecraft, buried beneath the city.
Finding the ship, monumental reveal, totally shifts the scope. It's not just an earthbound hunt anymore, it's firmly intergalactic. Confirms the alien origin, obviously, but also implies this long, secret presence, and buried beneath the city.
That's wild. How long has it been there? Have they been using LA as a base camp for who knows how long?
Right. It makes the Predator not just a hunter, but part of this species with history, methods, maybe even ongoing business on Earth. Being buried beneath the city is so creepy. Suggests infiltration, long-term planning. Is it a permanent base or just a landing spot they keep reusing? A secret hunting lodge under our noses?
Could be either. Hiding it in the city is brilliant camouflage, right? Who looks for a spaceship under downtown LA? It strongly suggests their visits aren't random, they're calculated. Earth is a known destination. This reveal moves beyond just the hunt and into this bigger, unsettling story of aliens using Earth as their long-term hunting ground. Expands the whole universe in one shocking discovery. It's such a great visual payoff after all the street-level chaos, from harrowing rooftop battle to hidden spacecraft buried beneath the city. Opens up so many questions, recontextualizes everything.
And inside that ship, there's one specific detail, a legendary detail, one that changed sci-fi cinema forever.
Yeah, the moment for sci-fi nerds everywhere, myself included. Our info is clear. Inside, Harrigan gets a glimpse of alien trophies, including a xenomorph skull, a legendary Easter egg that would later spark the Alien vs. Predator franchise.
It's not just a cool nod. It's a universe-altering game changer. Seeing that xenomorph skull among the Predator trophies, it instantly, undeniably connects Alien and Predator, implies this shared violent history, confirms Predators hunt way more than just humans. They hunt other deadly aliens, especially the xenomorph. It just sends chills down your spine, realizing the scope of their hunts. They're not just hunting us, they're cosmic apex predators.
You said it. I remember seeing that, and my brain just exploded. The implications. They're traveling the galaxy, hunting the deadliest things out there. That one skull launched a whole franchise. Shows the power of one well-placed detail. And what does it say about their trophy hierarchy? Is the Xeno skull, like, the ultimate prize?
It seems like it, doesn't it? Given how deadly xenomorphs are. Cunning, resilient. Yeah, you gotta think that's top-tier prey for a species that values the challenge above all else. This wasn't just confirming a fan theory. It made it canon. Changed how we saw both species. It shows they travel vast distances, fight diverse, dangerous life. Maybe that's why their tech is so advanced. They need it for the galactic hunt. Redefines them from just alien hunters of humans to intergalactic big game hunters. Beautifully done, so concise, so effective.
Absolutely brilliant. Focusing on that xenomorph skull, that legendary Easter egg, and how it sparked the Alien vs. Predator franchise shows how much impact one prop can have.
So Harrigan's seen these cosmic secrets. Now he faces his wounded enemy one last time. But the ending. Even more surprises. More about the Predator's complex nature.
Right, the final showdown. After all that running, fighting, mind-blowing discoveries, Harrigan, using his street smarts, his sheer will, he finally kills it, using its own weapon, a retractable disc. Huge symbolic win, right? Using their tech against them, turning strength into weakness. But the movie's not done yet.
Not even close. This is where it takes another twist that really defines the species. Harrigan wins, he's exhausted, ready to leave, and then several more predators appear, uncloaking one by one.
Whoa.
The tension just skyrockets. You think, okay, here it comes, payback time. He killed one of theirs, he's finished.
Exactly. Your heart's pounding, you brace for the attack, but then the completely unexpected happens, our sources say. Instead of attacking, they acknowledge Harrigan's victory.
That acknowledgement, it's everything. It cements the warrior code. Shows respect for a worthy opponent who beat one of them fair and square in honorable combat. It proves they're not just monsters. They're part of this complex, brutal civilization with rules, honor, traditions. This truce, it raises huge questions. Is it a warning? An invitation? Or just respect? It makes them so much more complex than just invaders.
It's so powerful, almost creepier than if they had attacked, because it implies this intelligence, this shared understanding, a brutal kind of camaraderie, terrifying, but also weirdly validating. Reinforces they're not beasts, they have a code. Harrigan using the retractable disc is perfect. Then the dramatic uncloaking and that profound acknowledging Harrigan's victory, just pure cinema, defines the franchise.
And that acknowledgement comes with a gift, a physical piece of history, something that says so much about how long they've secretly been coming to Earth, hints at a history we can barely grasp.
And this. This is the ultimate lore bomb, the detail that just blows the whole thing wide open. Sources state one of the predators tosses him a flintlock pistol engraved with 1715, and the implication is immediate, undeniable. This suggests the predators have been hunting on Earth for centuries.
At that flintlock pistol, engraved with 1715, maybe the single most important artifact in the whole Predator canon, up to that point anyway. It confirms they haven't just dropped by occasionally. They've been hunting humans here for centuries, maybe longer. This reframes human history. Think about it. Ancient myths of monsters, mysterious disappearances, unexplained historical events. Could they be echoes of predator hunts?
Whoa.
It transforms them from a modern sci-fi monster into this ancient recurring presence woven into our past. And then they just leave silently, taking their fallen comrade. Reinforces that otherworldly, ghost-like quality.
It's mind-blowing. Since at least 1715, what other historical periods, what conflicts, what legends might actually be secret predator battlegrounds? It elevates them to this cosmic ancient force, leaves you wondering and deeply unsettled, changes them from random visitors to maybe this unseen constant periodically using Earth for sport.
Suggests Earth isn't just some random planet, it's a known hunting preserve. The idea that humanity has always been kind of secretly game for these hunters, observed, occasionally culled, that's a chilling thought. The flintlock pistol, 1715, explicitly meaning predators have been hunting on Earth for centuries. It just changes everything, and then poof, they vanish, leaving Harrigan alive, stunned. What an ending.
And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into Predator 2. Wow, what a ride. Unexpectedly rich, wasn't it?
Totally.
We started in that chaotic LA urban jungle, followed Lieutenant Harrigan's gritty fight, uncovered that complex ancient predator code of honor.
And then boom, mind's blown. Hidden spaceship under the city, the legendary xenomorph skull sparking a whole other franchise, changing how we see both species.
And finally, that bombshell revelation. Predators hunting here for centuries, proven by that 1715 flintlock. This film just keeps adding layers.
It really pulls out those themes, doesn't it? The adaptability of the hunt. Alien ethics, however brutal. Now, one movie, especially a sequel people might overlook, can just massively expand a universe, even change its history. Gritty urban survival meets ancient cosmic hunters.
So, why does this deep dive matter to you listening? It shows how sequels, even gritty ones like Predator 2, can be incredibly rich with lore, adding so much depth. It's proof that one detail, a skull, a pistol, can ignite imagination and challenge what we thought we knew.
And it leaves us with that really provocative thought. If they've been hunting here for centuries, leaving artifacts like a 1715 pistol, what other moments in our history were secret battlegrounds? Could old myths, weird disappearances, actually be traces of their hunts?
And what does it mean, living on a planet that's always been, maybe always will be, a hunting preserve for something ancient, powerful, walking among us unseen? Something to think about next time you're walking through the urban jungle. Keep your eyes on the rooftops.
Until next time, deep divers. Keep digging.